یا علی مدد یا علی مدد. تمام ساتھیوں کو یا علی مدد. شکر الحمدللہ. امید ہے کہ سب ساتھی اپنی اپنی جگہ پر خیریت سے ہو گئے اور امام کے نورانی دیدار کے سائے میں، پنجتن پاک کے سائے میں ہو گئے اور امام کی یاد کے اندر دن گزر رہے ہو گئے. توفیق، تائید، ہمت و یاری، یا مولا ہماری مدد فرما تاکہ ہم کچھ علمی گفتگو کر سکے، کوئی علمی کام کر سکے جس سے جماعت کا روحانی اور عقلانی فائدہ ہو. یا مولا ہم سے وہ کام کروا جو تجھے پسند ہے اور ہمیں ایسے کاموں سے دور رکھ جو تجھے ناپسند ہے، اور ہر ہمیشہ ہمیں اپنی یاد کے اندر رکھ جس طرح کہ آپ کا حکم ہے اور جیسا آپ کا فرمان ہے. تو ہم اپنی اس کلاس کا آغاز، اپنے سیشن کا آغاز پچھلی کلاس سے کنٹینیو کریں گے. اگر ہمارے پاس کوئی کوشچن ہے ہماری پچھلی کلاس سے تو آپ بے شک یہاں پر پوچھ سکتے ہیں، یا کوئی کامنٹ ہے تو آپ کر سکتے ہیں، اور اگر نہیں تو ہم پھر اگلے سبجیکٹ کی طرف آگے بڑھیں گے. جی بسم اللہ. اگر کوئی بھی ساتھی کا کوئی سوال یا کوئی کامنٹ نہیں ہے تو مولا کی مدد سے، مولا کی توفیق سے اور تائید سے ہم آج کے سیشن اور آج کے سبجیکٹ کا آغاز کرتے ہیں. تو ہم چاہتے ہیں کہ ہم دوبارہ سے ساتھیوں کی توجہ علم کی طرف لے جائیں کہ کیا وجہ ہے کہ امام زمان نے اپنے بے انتہا فرامین کے اندر ہماری توجہ علم کی طرف کرائی ہے. نہ صرف دنیاوی علم بلکہ اسپریچول علم and intellectual ilm, because our being are on the three level, meaning we are constantly and perpetually living on three stages: a physical, a spiritual, and an intellectual life. We have a physical life, and the need and requirement of the physical body. Then we have a soul, and at the same time we have a need of our soul as we have a need of our body, because our soul also requires the food, which is tasbiyat, requires cleanliness, which is our giriyazari. Our soul requires happiness with tasbiyat and remembrance of the Imam, just like our physical body. And on top of both of this, we have intellect. And intellect also requires food, meaning the knowledge. Here, before we go further, we need to understand what kind of knowledge does our intellect need. And we remember one of Imam's Farman during the Golden Jubilee. May we recite the Salawat before we recite or paraphrase this Farman. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. So may Mullah guide us. Mullah says, the education is there for you to benefit in your physical life, but more than this, it is there so you may understand the creation of Allah. कि जो तालीमात है, जो नॉलेज है, वर्ल्डली नॉलेज की मैं सिर्फ पहले बात करता हूँ. The circular education is not only there so it may gives us a better life, but more so, even more than physical benefit, it is more so for us to understand the creation of Allah. If there is the farman for our intellectual learning, the need, the food for our intellect, then our intellect also requires the cleaning. How do we clean our intellect? First, we would have to identify what and how our intellect have dust, the dirt. उसमें कौन सी खराबी हो गई है? Example, when we feel dirty, we take shower. When our soul requires cleanliness, we do Giriyawazari. When our intellect need cleanliness, we need pure water, the pure, clean talimat, pure and clean ilm, to clean our ill concepts, to clean our understanding. For whatever reason, if we had gone wrong, यहाँ तो बीमार हो गई है, यहाँ dirty हो गई है. If it has gone sick, then we need intellectual medicine. If it has gone dirty, we need intellectual water of the ilm to clean it. If there is the case that we need things on 3 different levels, तो इसका मतलब है कि at all the time, when Imam gives us a farman, or when we are listening to the Ginan, or when we are reading the Quran, we need to think of those things on 3 levels. On 3 levels. Another example is that we have Shariat in our tariqah, which is our dua, our dasan, the purification, and हमारी चांदरात की majlis. Those are our Shariat, which we do or pay forward with our physical body and our physical time. But no Ismaili can say that within this Shariat, within our dua, within our dasan, and within our majalis, the benefit is only for our physical body. At least we will refer them to our spiritual enlightenment, spiritual happiness. at least on a minimum level, कि दुआ हम अपनी रूह की खुशी के लिए करते हैं, पढ़ते हैं. But we do this with our physical time and with our physical body. And if we don't think further than our physical giving or physical offering of the dua, physical offering of our dasan, and physical being attending the majalis, if we cannot think, or especially agar hamari niyat, especially if our intention was only and only for our physical qurbani, physical being there, then the benefit of those three shariat will be limited to the physical body only. But like I said, no Ismaili will say that. We will all say this is for our soul. Now how do we take this a further, one step further toward our intellect? Without the understanding the dua, and when I say understanding, I'm talking about the meaning of the dua, not the translation of the dua. The meaning of the dasan, not just the money part that we are giving because it is a farman to give, or it is a requirement of our tariqah, so we give. It's not the physical money, but the niyat, the intention, and the understanding behind the dasan. And the same goes for majalis. It is not that we have given few dollars to enroll in a majlis and then we attend the majlis and that's it. Physical action of Shariat. It has to be on different levels. The necessity and the requirement in our tariqah, because our tariqah is a dynamic, it is a religion of intellect. Even though we start everything with the Shariat, and then we come to tariqat, where we learn how to follow our tariqah. And then we come to haqiqat, where we know the truth and the facts of our tariqah. Just like that, there are different levels of knowledge too. Even ilm ke andar bhi ranks and steps hai. So initially we do things with ilmul yaqeen. Ilmul yaqeen, the certainty of the knowledge. Because what you were told, what you had learned, and what you had believed. Remember ये तीन चीजें. What you were taught, यानी कि आपके पेरेंट्स ने आपको सिखाया, आपके टीचर्स ने आपको सिखाया, या आपने सीख लिया. What you were taught. And then what you learned. When I say what you learned, meaning what did you understand from it? And then the final part, आपका ईमान. How do you believe it? Because it doesn't matter what was taught to you and what you have learned and understood. But if you don't believe it, then it really doesn't matter. Again, what you were taught, जो आपको सिखाया गया. If you don't understand, does it even matter कि आपको क्या सिखाया गया? Example is dua. If we say the dua 3 times a day and we live to be 100 years old, But if you don't understand this dua, does it count? Does it matter? And you will quickly say, no, we need to understand our dua. Because that is not only the farman of the Imam to know the dua, but also our logic as the educated people, as the logical people. We need to know what we are saying, whom we are saying to, and what we are saying. इसी तरह से दसौन की बात भी सेम है. If you only understand the dasaun on the physical level, but not on the spiritual level or the intellectual level. So what am I saying? Just like dua and dua's translation and the dua meaning, we need to understand the dasaun on physical level where we give the money to purify our earning. There is a dasaun on a spiritual level to purify our earning, our spiritual earning. And there is a dasaun on our intellectual level, our earning on the intellectual level, to purify that earning as well. So, लेकिन ये सब के सब चीजें at the beginning comes with the ilmul yaqeen, the certainty of knowledge. With the knowledge, you are certain that what you are doing is right and is correct. With the ilm. तो आपने देखा कि हम फौरन से शरीयत से निकलकर तरीकत में आ गए. Because it is the tariqat that teaches us how and why we are doing what we are doing, and how and why we are doing and what we are doing on physical level, and how do we elevate that to the spiritual level, and how do we elevate that on intellectual level. इल्मुल यकीन, इसके अंदर जो की वर्ड है वो यकीन है, ईमान. क्योंकि अगर हमारे यकीन ही नहीं है, then does not even matter कि हमको किसी ने सिखाया, did somebody teach us, और हमने सीख लिया या understand कर लिया, doesn't even matter, because the last and most important part was the iman. But all this comes when we have true knowledge, the true knowledge of the Imam. When we have the true knowledge of the Imam, then we understand the Shariat, and then we understand and learn the Tariqat, and then we can come into Haqiqat, where the truth is. तो दूसरा लेवल जो इल्म का था वो ऐनुल यकीन था, the certainty of the eye. So initially we believed with the knowledge that was given to us and the knowledge that we understood. अब हमने देखा कि that was certainty, that was true, और वो ही हक था और यही यकीन था. लेकिन इस मर्तबा एंड दिस टाइम आपका जो यकीन है, आपका जो ईमान है, वो एक लेवल ऊपर है. आपने देखकर उस पर ईमान लाया. And in a minute I will give an example for us to even understand further. And then there is a third level of understanding of the ईमान, और वो है हक्कुल यकीन. हमने उसको करके देखा, एक्सपीरियंस किया, और फिर हमने उस पर यकीन किया. And here is the example. Let's say that someone tells us, we are new in this area, wherever we are living, that there is a body of water about a mile away. there's a body of water about a mile away. It's a huge body of water like a river or the ocean. And the water is blue. And water is cold. And the attribution of water that if you jump into it, it will make you wet. But remember, you are new in this area. You have not seen any water where you are standing. So when someone tells you that, and let's say you do believe that person, तो फिर आपके पास कौन सा यकीन आया? इल्मुल यकीन आया. You believed with the knowledge that was given to you, the information that was given to you. Then one day you decide to go see that body of water yourself. So you drive down or you walk down a mile, and what do you see? You see a river or you see an ocean. And the water is really blue as it was told. So now you are on the second level of certainty. यकीन और ईमान का दूसरा मरहला आ गया. Now, because you have seen it, you can say, I am at the certainty of eyes. मैंने अपनी आंखों से देखा और मैंने यकीन किया. Because I have seen it, now I believe it. In the first one, there was a little bit doubt. दो किस्म के डाउट हो सकते हैं. Possibly, there could be two different kind of doubt. One, is there really a large body of water? And second, is water really blue? There could have been possibly two levels of doubt. Especially if you don't know the person who's telling you. And I'm going to give this example with another example. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam first time declared or wanted to declare his prophecy, he climbed on a small hill and gathered the people of Makkah around him. And he asked them, say, "O people of Makkah, if I tell you something, would you believe me?" And the people of Makkah said, "Of course we believe you, Muhammad, because we know you as Amin and Sadiq. तुम ईमानदार भी हो और सच्चे भी हो." Because they knew him as the true person, they say, "Of course we will believe you." So again, back to our original example, if you know the person to be true, then you will believe him that what he said about the water is true. Otherwise, you could possibly have two kind of doubts. So what does ilm do? What does the certainty of knowledge do? It takes away the doubts from you, the listener, the learner. It takes away the doubt. Only if you believe what you are told is truth. And the person who's telling you is telling you the truth. If you believe that. If you don't believe that, then there is a 50-50 chance that you may believe some and may not believe the other things. So if you do believe, then what did you do? You reacted to it. You acted on that belief by driving yourself down to that ocean front to see if there is a really body of water and if the water is blue. अभी आपने देख लिया, that water is blue. Now you have no doubt. no doubt, because you've seen it with your own eyes. But he has also told you the water is cold. Just by looking at the water, can you tell me or can you believe the water is cold? How do you know? Again, you are back to ilmul yaqeen, as the certainty of knowledge. Because that person who have told you there is a water, there is a blue water and the water is cold. So you have two choices. You can believe him at the ilmul yaqeen level, because certainly you cannot tell by just looking at the water if the water is cold or hot. Or you can go to the third level and jump into the water. Or at least put your toe into the water to see if it's cold or hot. Just put your feet inside. And that's how you will know the third level, the haqqul yaqeen. Because now with the experience, you can tell that there is a body of water, the water is blue, and the water is cold. And the fourth thing he had told you was that if you jump into it, you will get wet. Just before you had put your toe and your feet inside the water, you did not know that either. कि वो पानी आपको गीला कर देगा. But once you jumped into it, or at least you had put your feet into it, now with all three levels, the level of the believing and yaqeen of the truth, you know. Same goes for our tariqah and our practices in our tariqah. The initial stage was that our parents, our teacher had taught us something and we believed it. So Iman was important at that point, at the initial stage. Because if you had not believed it, then you had no reason to even try and try to find that body of water. You would not have. अगर हमने ये सीखा है कि हमारी शरीयत, हमारी जो शरीयत है हमारे तरीके के अंदर, वो हमको रूहानी फ़ायदा देंगी. It will give us the spiritual enlightenment. And you believed it. Then what would you do? You will take it to the second level. That if I practice my tariqah, does it give me spiritual enlightenment? It gives me the happiness of the heart? And it all started with the first level of ilmul yaqeen. क्योंकि आपने यकीन किया, then you practiced by walking on that path. आप देखें गिनानों के अंदर हमारे पीरों ने हमको इल्म के रास्ते बताए, हमारे पीरों ने हमको रूहानियत के रास्ते बताए, और हमारे पीरों ने हमको अक्ल और इंटेलेक्चुअल सोचने के लिए. So they taught us all three within the Gnan. How to practice, what to practice, and what would you get at the end. They taught us all three in our Ginans. Same thing goes for Faramin. Imam told us what to do, how to do it, and what you will get at the end. Now it is upon us. If we believed on the first level, then we will try to go to the second level. If we believed. And if you are on the second level and you believed, then you will try to go on the third level. Let's take one example and then we will start for some questioning or for the comments. ibadat, bandagi, and isme azam. And this is just example. This is not our subject for the day. I'm going to use this for the need and necessity of the knowledge, so we may improve ourselves and go further in our tariqah than wherever we are standing. I don't know where we are standing. Are we standing at the Shariat? Are we standing at the tariqat? Or are we standing at the haqiqat? I don't know that. Wherever we are standing, we can take it to the next level up. When Imam says that if you do the ibadat, then you will come closer and closer to my nur. And if you believe that, then what is the obvious second step? We start doing our ibadat. And once we are regular in our ibadat, what is our obvious next step? We go for Isme Azam. And once we receive the Isme Azam, what is our obvious next step? We do more bandagi. We concentrate more on the ibadat. But if we did not have the yaqeen or initial belief, then we would not have done the ibadat, nor we would have gone for the Isme Azam. And once we start doing the practice, and once we feel and see things in our ibadat, that will bring us to anul yaqeen, the serenity of eyes, because now we have seen something which was promised to us. And once we start on the second step of the journey, then if we believe, what we will try to do, we will try to go on the third level to make sure that we are enhancing or increasing our ranks and getting closer and closer to the nur of the Imam, using the belief and the Isme Azam. So those were some of the examples. Let me stop here, and then we will also talk about few of the other things in a minute. But before we go further, if anyone has a comment or wanted to elaborate on what they understood or have a question, go ahead, ताकि हम साथ साथ में चल सके इस इल्म के अंदर. We can walk on it together. जी.